Next up on is for our commissioner candidates. We'll let Bob come on up. And
my name's Bob Jordan. I work for County Commissioner. Tell that rascal Bob Jordan I want his seat. Okay, I got a lot of things I can talk about, and I'll probably talk to a lot of people about this. I'm going to ask a question. How many people here think that the federal government spends too much money? How about state government?
Can we vote twice?
You know, the control of our spending happens at the local level. It does not happen at the state. They're challenged to do that. John will tell you that. So Troy will tell you that. It's a challenge to do it at the state level. The federal government's a mess right on that. So if we want to control our spending, have smaller government, we do it at Campbell County's level. Okay? That's something we need to work on. I believe in smaller government, more efficient government for a reason. There's change in economies. Okay, one of the things we've got coming in Campbell County, some challenges coming. We've all seen newspaper. We all know it's going to happen. Hopefully it's a long enough way out. We got time to work our way through it. It's going to affect the school system. It's going to affect our state. So in this last budget session, we had the opportunity, and our county commissioners doing a great job. They got together and they lowered the budget down. Continue to work on lowering the budget. They want 3% cut over the next 3 years, each year. That's huge because actually our budget used to run about 100 million, and now it's around 150. Now we got that down to about 135. Someplace in there. We're going to keep trying to lower it down and get more efficient in our government. That's huge. It's amazing how much I had the opportunity to go through some records in the last couple of weeks. 38 years ago, for 38 years we've been at 11 mil and above in taxes. Okay, 12 mil is maximum allowed by the state of Wyoming. There are two counties not at 12 mil. That's Campbell County and Teton. So there's not much room to go up to 12 mil. So we really need to control our spending and get it under control, and hopefully maybe drop some of that mil down. We'll see how that looks out as we look out there. A lot of challenges for us, our funding. Does anybody here know how much our funding comes from energy? Campbell County's budget?
72%.
That's correct, pretty close, 72, 75% right in there. How much that's coal, does anybody know? About half. Okay. So we got a lot of challenges ahead of us, and this is not doomsday talk, it's math talks, mathematics. We really need to get a handle on our spending. Okay, and we got a great bunch of county employees. County employees do a good job, right? I'm telling you. I've got around and got to see a lot of them, meet a lot of them. I'm telling you, they do the best they can. They do as they're told. And we asked for a cut, and most of them came up with cuts pretty easily. We do appreciate that. We have a lot more work we have to do. We have a lot of outside influence in our community, trying to always work the county for more money. We've got to stop the outside influence. All right, it's here.
Yes.
And they work very hard at it, and they're very efficient. I've seen it. Okay, I'm scarred by it. All right. I gotta admit, nobody can peddle peanuts as good as these people. They really work hard at getting your money. So that's one of the things I'll be working on. There's some economic development we can do. I'm for economic development, but I don't think the government should pay for it.
No. Yeah, that's right.
Because once this starts, it'll never end. Okay, never. No place has ever ended in any history of anywhere. The federal level and state level never ends. We talk about the tax bill that's coming. So really, what's a tax bill look like? So it's $250 million, give or take. That's $30 million for the city and their overpass. That's $12 million or so for the rights. What Wright wants to do? What Wright wants to do is they got some land, they got the water and the power. They want to get $12 million to build an infrastructure, take that money and put another infrastructure. I'm not in favor of that, but you know what? That's their business, not mine. I stay in my lane, that's theirs, all right? So if you don't like it, don't vote for it, all right? The overpass is going to go from 2 lanes to 4 lanes to 2 lanes. Don't ask me why. It's not my lane. It's going to be part of it. Don't like it, don't vote for it. All right? I'll just give you advice. Now the Camplex, that's a whole different critter. They want $208 million at 1% tax. That's going to make your sales tax at 6%. I'm going to have a hard time calculating 5%, but don't make it 6. I'll need that calculator every time to do it. But the reality of the situation is that tax is going to go for 10 years at least. If our sales tax goes down in Campbell County, okay, that 1% goes down and just keeps dragging it out, all right? The Camplex, probably Jerry knows more about the numbers than I do, but right now it costs right around $8 million to run it. If they build the additional structures, it could run anywhere from $10 to $12 million to run it. Over 20 years, it's $240 million more dollars. So it's not 208 million, it's 208 million plus 240 million. It's pretty close to $500 million over 20 years. That's a lot of money. It's gonna come out of our pockets, okay? And as our economy changes, I just sat in economic development today, we were talking about ideas. What I came to realize was what the city needs is not what the county needs. The city has grown population to keep its economy going, okay? They have to have more people. We have to figure out how to take care of our stuff inside the county without people, because we don't have a large population. Most of our stuff comes from energy and property taxes. We sure don't want them to go up no more. The valuation's gone up pretty much they can go up, and John knows more about legislation than I do about it, and Troy about how they can do things for that. So a lot of challenges coming next 4 to 8 years for our economy, for our families. Young people are struggling, and they think their tax base is pretty low. Reality is when you put them taxes top of everything else they have to pay for, there's a lot of strain on young families. It's strain on older people. We all see it's strain on everybody. And it's going to only keep going up. Taxes are going to keep going because the people want to spend, want to keep on spending. It will not stop, okay? And like I said, they've been tooling out economic development. I don't think we should be involved in that. Anything we spend money on, I want money back. Now, the county is going to start moving out away from properties. We're going to sell properties we have. We have lots of properties and buildings. There's no reason to hold on to them because we have to pay for those buildings.
Right.
So what's the liability in those buildings? Over the next 10 to 15, 20 years, $200 million. They're going to need roofs, new heating equipment, stuff like that. Stuff wears out. We all know that. So the county's going to have to pay for that. So when you begin to tell people these are the economic numbers we have to work with, here's our tax base changing. All right, this is a burden. So we can go 12 mil. Let's just take it 12 mil. You don't have enough money because most of it's going to come in property taxes. So last year we had $5.8 billion in assessment. I think $856 million came from property taxes. That's a long way from $5.8 billion. That means if we start losing any more of our energy, we're going to be in a place we're going to figure out how to cut spending. We're going to do it in a very efficient way. We ran some numbers one day. We fund 28 entities. If we go down and lose just half our coal, half our minerals, all right, of the 28 entities, we can only fund 14. 7 are by law, state statute. So the 14 left, who's going to get them funded? You guys want to pick that one? So this year, the county commissioners were asked for 4 new asks for taxes. We chose not to fund those. So we're going to try and do some things. We've got some joint powers boards. We've got some stuff in the Camplex, some stuff in the fire department. We have things we have to figure out numbers-wise because the numbers are changing. We have no control over those numbers. But smaller government, smaller spending happens at this level. And if we're going to complain about it and we're not going to support it here at this level, then we got to quit complaining about it. If you don't want to fix it here, it's not going to fix nowhere else. And this is where we live. This is our lane. We can't control what goes on in the state. We surely can't control what goes on the feds. So I didn't say my bio ahead of time. I've been there forever. I would have been here so long that George took my picture at graduation. He's only a couple years older than me. Family's been here forever. We homesteaded here. I'm married. I have a son. Yeah, George took my picture. Funny story. He was up taking one of my wife's graduation reunion here a couple years ago. So as George was taking a picture, I sat in the back because I was 3 years ahead of him. Just before he snapped, I stepped up and got a picture of me and the rest of the class. So I got away with one. That was so
Shocking.
I'll take any questions. Who's got any questions?
I guess my question is, they're talking about this $300 million indoor roping arena or whatever for National High School Rodeo. What is the economics of that? Is it how long is it going to take to pay for it? Right? Is the National High School going to be able to bring enough revenue in to do it?
Jerry
Okay.
actually sits on the board. He can give you more details.
And then the other question is, okay, now we got this camporee thing coming in. Now, can you imagine paying $500 or $600 for the Mustang Motel? I mean, for a night? I mean, these motel owners, they're up to $1,000. They're displacing the bikers even. And and I guess my question is, how is this, we build this $311 million building, how the heck is it gonna justify itself? Because I can go out in the pasture and get bucked off a pony, I don't need $1 million building bucked off, but I mean,
That's $1 million question, and Jerry and I have been talking about, and other people. The return on the rodeo, they say if they build this thing, and build the indoor arenas, that they'll be able to bring more activities here. What it really is about, not just that, they also want to build an indoor soccer arena, another ice arena, okay? They don't talk about that chatter, but they want it. And after what they pulled with the Wyoming Center, is anybody here aware of what happened at the Wyoming Center? So it's voted down, we voted it in, this goes back 2009, or correct me if I'm wrong, Jerry, okay? We have $25 million. When they were done, it's 48 to 50 million. They put an ice arena in. The ice arena has failed. Poor design. Now they want another ice arena, so let's say they build another one, 35 million. We've got $80 million in ice. I'm sorry, that's too much ice. So I'm against it. I think if you want to build an ice arena, you do it privately. If the city wants to eat it, that's the city's problem. It's out of my lane. I handle the county only. Let them eat whatever costs or somebody else does. Project you're talking about, a lot of stuff, and Jerry can speak more to this. I won't take his thunder because he's on top of this, and we talked enough about this. There's a thought that somehow sports will carry this town and save. I just came from an economic development meeting. Sports is going to carry this thing. So let's give it what it looks like. There's $450 million comes through here in coal miner wages. That's junk cash. Okay, 100 million. Let's just take 100 million of it. Okay, just 100 million to replace them coal miners. Every family that comes to Campbell County, according to tourism, family 3 to 4, spends $500 a day here. Okay? If you take $500 a day into 100 million, it's 200,000 visitors a year. Take that by 52, that's 3,500 families of 4, 3 and 4 here every single Saturday. That's to make 100 million. That's 1/4 of the coal mine's wages. Now, that's not going to happen. There's only 2,000 hotel rooms. Those people be sleeping in their cars also. That's not going to happen. So the economic plan we have to have, of course, we have to have smaller government. That gives us a lot of room if something does change. And we should do it anyway. We should have smaller government anyway. Not about this downturn, because we've all seen the swings up and down, okay? We've all seen the layoffs because we get a bad coal price. We've seen the school system, the city, the county. We need a smaller government that just winds right through this. We don't even see it. We used to have these things. Okay, I can remember back before 2000 when the coal or oil was changing the prices, nobody was laid off. How many layoffs do we have? The old citizens here, we didn't see it because it didn't happen. Because the county had enough reserve, enough spending power, and enough small government, it did not matter. But we're not that way anymore. Okay, we're in a place we shouldn't be. We need to be better, smaller government, more efficient. Everybody needs to do it. And the most important thing is, we can complain about government all we want, it's actually the people. That's a problem, because they keep asking for more. So we say when we complain about government, we turn right around and ask it, why can't we have it?
Yeah.
Okay? And that's Campbell County's disease, because other places are smart to say, oh, I don't necessarily can get that. That's our fault. We need to tell our neighbors, quit asking for things you're not going to get. All right? Because then you turn around and complain about the taxes, that's on you. All right? That's wrong. We got to be better citizens. Camplex, yeah. Let the people vote, let the vote falls where it lays. I'm telling you, you can't afford it long term. Okay, if I go down to 100, let's say we go down $100 million budgets. Now, mind you, for COVID, our budget should run 80 to 90 million to 100 million, right at 84 to 100 million. Okay, after COVID, it went up. Some was COVID money, some was spending we didn't need to do, whatever. So there will always be some inflation there. At 100 million, we can handle this thing. 150, 160, no, we can't. We can't do it. Because we're watching, even coal stage, we watch fluctuation. Natural gas is at all-time low right now. Okay, coal prices went from $17 to $13 a ton. It's already slipped in price. It doesn't matter about production, it's already slipped because that's the marketplace. Our county depends on those energies, and that depends on those energy dollars. So we need a smaller government, be more efficient, optimize operation, and figure out how we can get this thing more efficient. And we're going to work on it. I'm going to work on it the next 4 years. And I think we pick some other people that will have enough people to get it done. Any more questions? Yes.
So you mentioned earlier that on the ballot, we'll be getting to vote on whether we're going to go from 5 cents to 6 cents on sales tax. But for some time now, the community's been re-voting in the 5th cent, the optional 1 penny. And I know the county doesn't get the lion's share, that's mostly in the city,
Right.
but you still get to determine where that's going to be spent. I know that there's a survey that the
Right.
community's supposed to fill out. Not many people fill that out. But in your mind, what is the proper use of that tax from the county standpoint?
I'm a person that, I run an IS district. That's an improvement service district. So we get levy taxes by our district. It means all the citizens get together, we decide $250 a year per lot, and we put that in the road. We get to decide our road. Taxation with representation is so important, okay? That's what IS districts do. The 1%, I'm not for any taxes. I'm for basic tax for basic needs, not any taxes. The 1% does one thing, though. I'm not an advocate in the way, I'm there to manage it when it shows up, okay? The 1% tax, 4% of the tax of the sales tax goes to state. And John probably can tell you more about that. It goes to state, they take their cut off, they send it back to us. It's split between Wright and Gillette and Campbell County. City of Gillette takes the majority of that, takes a big chunk of it. Okay, so we get some back. That's our cut. For every time you buy a pickup truck, okay, 4% of that 5, the state takes their cut first and the city of Gillette gets the rest. So you're really not doing us no favors buying big pickups. Up to 1%, if you got a tax that's going to be representative of the citizens, the 1% tax keeps their fingers out of the general fund. Okay? That's, if it has anything at all good about it, it's that, keeps their cut out, the fingers out of it.
But for what purpose?
If you got people like to spend, keeps their fingers out of the
Spend on what?
Spend on what?
so the 1%?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 1%, the way they had it figured up,
No, I don't want to know what they're spending on. I want to know what you think it should be spent on.
what I think it should be spent on? Well, first thing, there's a survey like you shared. The citizens decide what they want to spend on. Myself, it should be spent on law enforcement, extra things, the fire department begrudgingly. There's a reason for that. I support the fire department, but we got some issues with the fire department, okay? There are some services that people like. Some of it's drug court, okay? Drug court, adult drug court. There's some infrastructure things we can spend it on. IS districts, so they'll come in and might ask for a grant. That's for roads, so they vote for that. Our IS districts never ask for a grant, never will. We believe we should take care of ourselves and not ask for anyone else for our money for roads, but that's other people do that. What else they spend it on? Oh, they spend like a senior citizen centers between here and Wright, and if you're not quite sure how you feel about that, drive down to Wright and sit with those people, those senior citizens, and yes, John?
Well, 2 county commissioner races before, it was a big deal because a lot of that, well, some of that money was going to a birth center, which was referring people to an abortion clinic out of state. And a couple of commissioners fought against that and ended that funding. But we also fund things like baseball teams and other kinds of special interests. Do you believe that's appropriate?
I don't think baseball teams are appropriate at all. As for the out-of-state, the steady. Got a couple of ball players in the audience, I heard. No, it should not be for any kind of the abortion and all stuff like that. It should not be allowed for that. Nor any kind of education on the DEI or anything like that. We don't do that, but it should not be allowed. Go ahead.
Has anyone ever done a check?
There's 350 million, and they're bringing in about 15 million a year. What that needs to happen, that money is, as our tax structure comes down to 100 million, if tomorrow you guys lose a big part of your energy, you're going to be standing at 56 to 64 million dollars on a $150 million budget. That 15 million might be able to come in and offset that, in addition to cuts, to get you someplace you need to be. I think we have enough money put away in reserve. So now it's making money actually generating itself. It's actually feeding itself now in the savings account. There's some people say we're overtaxed, and I don't think we should put more money in savings. The money coming in, 15 million a year, is kind of like having an oil well in the backyard. Okay? It's nice having that little bit of income coming in. So whoever did that in the past, whatever their motives were, now we need to start using it, reserve if we need to. If our taxes begin to lower taxes down, we run into a pickle. Let's say tomorrow we lose 2/3 of our energy, okay? We got choices. We make serious cuts, lay a bunch of people off, or try to offset some of those costs, okay? But it's only 15 million. You lose 40, 50 million, 15 million is just a drop in the bucket, okay? So I think we're done saving as much as we need to save. Let it roll over and build itself. Try and get the tax structure down. The 1%, they call it a voluntary tax. If you don't buy nothing, it doesn't make 1% sense. That's anybody's opinion, can have it any way they want. I personally believe that's 1% more would come out of our pockets, okay? But
I was wondering if you could redesign the survey for the 1%, because I know with the city at least, and it might be similar with the county, where the survey was like, what type of water slide would you like to see at the new water park?
agreed.
You know,
Okay, first thing everybody needs to do is we need to sit down, we need to write a survey and change it every single year. And add what we want. I don't believe slides are my option for that, okay? I'm sorry. Playground equipment is fine, but it should not be funded with that 1% in my mind. I'm sorry, just, the rec center gets plenty, the rec mills out there, and they can go that equipment. The rec center has plenty of budget money. We're not there for that. But you know what? People do that. So that's where I am with that. Any more questions before I get one more?
One more. When we built this $300 million.
200 million.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Or this big roping arena, okay. You know, we might look at some different contractors, the ones that are building our buildings that we've got. I mean, look, maybe Vegas for the people that actually build those type of facilities. I think we would probably get a way bigger bang for our buck than hire, you know, some of these ones maybe that are local. Yeah, it creates local jobs, but it's still going to create local jobs because those people ain't going to come all the way from Vegas, but the labor's not. But, you know, look at some different contractors.
Yeah, I agree. If you want to torque me off, don't tell me about contracts in this Campbell County. I should leave issues local, but when they turn around, they're able to skim off the additional 25%. Now, I worked in construction projects, real projects. I'm not talking about some silly little aquatic center. Real projects, hundreds of millions of dollars. They always hit their targets and ahead of schedule. Okay, Campbell County cannot do that. Not a single project I know of came in on time and on budget. That is one thing that really want to ache my heart. That really doesn't. Okay, I appreciate your time. Hopefully, yes. If you don't vote for me, vote at least for Jerry.
Bob,
Yes.
you've been going to the county commissioner meetings for quite some time, right?
Yes.
I am curious, now that you're on the other side, has any of your opinions changed about how they operate or decisions that they make?
Thank you, Mary.
Good question.
I've been scarred. I've seen things.
Yes.
Never wanted to see.
It's not inside the county. Okay, the county department's trying to do what they can do, and they pulled. There's some little politics always going on. There's always a way. When there's money involved, everybody's got an angle. Okay, I'm telling you, outside influence in this county, it goes around these boards and try to work the action. Okay, I'm not a novice here. I've seen this before. I've been around. I've seen things. No, my opinion's not changed one bit. We got a lot of work to do to kind of adjust their attitude. Okay. One thing is, as we move into our lands and begin to sell our properties, which the county should have not. If we have no use for properties, they should not be there. And this county's collected a lot of property needs to be gone. Take that money, put it in the silos, and we'll use the interest off of it to pay for restitution of buildings. Okay? No, my attitude has not changed one bit. It's probably gotten more hard.
Excellent.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much.